Are we recording now?
We are recording now.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Karl Spain is here, last minute addition to, and that's why we're not...
Get down last minute.
Well, I mean, you know... Okay, do you want to introduce the show, you horrible, hairy Australian?
That's right, here we go. Alright, everyone in internet land. It's Dave McSavage and Karl Spain for this episode of That's Why We're Not Together. Here's Dave McSavage and Karl Spain!
Thank you very much. And stepping in for Daniel Andrews is the very popular, famous and attractive Australian Damien Clark. Man about town. He is like a multi-use, Swiss Army knife. Mm-hmm. Like in a post-apocalyptic world, this is the guy you would rely on. This guy, he can survive. You could sleep in a bush for years.
I have done. Not for years, but
have you slept outside?
Yeah, a few times.
Have you, Damien?
Yeah.
I bet you.
Good times.
Really? Have you ever slept outside, Karl Spain?
I'm the guest.
Yeah.
Not out of desperation and need. I think, can't.
Why have you suddenly turned into like some very high-ranking politician?
I'm glad you asked me that question, but the real question you should have asked me is this.
That's right. So I'm delighted to have Karl Spain. Well, thank you, Karl. We had planned this for months. Yes.
Yeah. Would you do my podcast again? Yeah. I'm going to be waiting the next couple of weeks. I could do it tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Can we do that too? Yeah. Let's do it. But Dave, we need to fight the real issues.
Go on then.
I was parked right outside Dave's house on a Sunday, and he says, "Oh, you'll have to pay for parking." No, it's a Sunday, Dave. And he went, "Oh no." And looked at the sign, and it said, "Oh God, yeah, you have to pay on a Sunday." And then across the road is a Saturday. Free parking on the Sunday. How can people live like this?
I know. Are you sorry? I'm just distracted, Karl, because Damien Clark has now sat on the ground.
No, I'm back up.
No, but I'm just saying. What do you want? A cushion?
No.
But why did you sit on the ground? Because it's more comfortable.
I was just getting in. I was just getting into it.
Yeah, but then if you do switch to you, then you'll be slightly out of the picture. But actually, that's funny.
I was going to stand back up. I was going to sit back up.
Do you know what I'm going to say, Damien?
Sorry.
You do what you want, and I should just leave. You just Damien Clark the shit out of it, and it's hilarious. All whatever you're doing. So you know what I mean. I was controlling there, and I fucked up the podcast, and I was disrespectful to Karl.
And sorry, Karl. That was my bad.
So, okay, can we all just calm down for a second? I can't get a gig in the Laughter Lounge. I'm really trying to get a gig. Do you know anybody I can contact? Do you guys know anybody from the Laughter Lounge?
It's the same people
it hasn't changed.
Forever.
Yeah, I'd really like to gig there.
But we've changed.
No, I'm joking. I wouldn't like to gig there.
What? Oh God, you're hard to read. Let's not play poker.
I played in the Laughter Lounge once, I think, or something.
Was it on the way up?
Oh no, I played a few times.
You did your open spot in the Laughter Lounge the same night as me.
This is 20 years ago.
It was Thursday, the 13th of September, 2001, because it was 2 days after 9/11.
Karl Spain, just let's. This is amazing. But this is like, if we talk about human beings, what you have right there, my friend, is a superpower. That's superpower stuff. Oh, it fucking is. Yeah. You ask me what day it was. You know what I mean? I mean, that blows me away. That's pretty fucking good.
Frankie Boyle was the MC. Tom Rhodes was headlining.
No, he wasn't. Frankie Boyle was not the MC.
He was the MC.
Frankie Boyle?
No,
he wasn't.
He absolutely 100%
Not for our gig.
Yes, 100%. Frankie was MC. Neil Delamere was on first.
Neil who?
Neil Delamere.
And don't say anything negative about other comedians, because it's not a good look for us to turn in on ourselves.
Kevin Hayes.
We can bitch about people behind, off the podcast, but let's just be supportive to each other.
Kevin Hayes was the middle.
I like Neil Delamere. There's no Mayor. I've met his wife many times. Very attractive lady. What's her name? Jane
Russell.
I've said that a lot of times.
We were the open spots.
It's quite confusing for me. Sorry.
We were the open spots, and you were meant to be on the Friday night. But because of the National Day morning, they said they're putting you on the Thursday night. So there was 2 open spots.
So this was just
2 days after 9/11.
And Ireland was one of the only countries, I think the only country in Europe to have a National Day morning.
And that Thursday night, if you saw the street, if you remember the streets of Dublin, it was arguably one of the biggest celebrations because people were going, we've tomorrow off work, like a surprise long weekend, because it was announced like maybe that day. So people were going mental. You could see people who've stayed out straight from work because they know they don't have to be back till Monday.
Yeah, but Carl, in seriousness, I think the fact that we did have a National Day of Mourning, it seemed very right. I think we have a very deep connection with the United States, and I think we took it very personally that 9/11. Carl, I'm just trying to be serious.
It was scary times. Who knew what was coming next?
So we were doing open spots in the Laughter Lounge. It was more of a comedy club back then, wasn't it?
It was. Well,
it's not. Yeah, go on.
Well, you had Frankie Boyle was brought over, Kevin Hayes and Tom Rhodes, so they were accommodating the three of them. And I assume Neil lived in Dublin at the time. So, and we were open spots, so we meant nothing to them. I stayed in a friend's house that night. You were living in Dublin, I'm assuming, as well.
Oh, I was, yeah. I was
back
with Hannah and Jack and Daniel. Jack is now 26, living in London with his girlfriend, and Daniel is 31. And he's on holiday with Hannah, who is having a relationship, who's in a relationship with a man.
With a man?
Yeah.
Sorry. I should stop doing this.
So that day was a Thursday. That's funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and I'd forgotten Frankie. I met Frankie Boyle a year or two later, and I introduced myself, and he goes, I was the MC when you did your open spot.
What the fuck happened?
He remembered me when I didn't remember him.
That tells you something. What happened to the Laughter Lounge? It used to be like a good stand-up comedy club, and it turned more into a sort of cabaret or sort of group coupon night or something.
I think, they're trying to make it an event.
An event.
Less about comedy and more about like, let's have, a group we're going as an event, as a one-off.
So that's why I'm so grateful to these two, Damien Clark and Eddie Malarkey, for running the Crack Den, because it's a lifesaver.
No sound effect for the Crackdown.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I should have done them. Cool. I wanted to ask, Carl, do you remember any of the material that you or Dave did on that first?
So we have to say so Karl Spain has this amazing facility.
I can remember. No, I can remember.
I think
the jokes I would have done.
No, I remember me getting big laughs, and then I went off stage and I had a guitar, and I think a lot of comedians would look down on guitar acts. And Karl, he wasn't unfriendly, but I think he did spit on me. He went,
no, true drink in your face.
Yeah, true drink.
No, I remember Dave did a gag that got a big laugh. And the tagline, whatever the tagline was, I thought was better. And he almost threw a tagline away. And I said to him afterwards, I really like that joke, but the tagline got lost. He said, didn't get the laugh it deserved. And you went, no, they laughed. And I was like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't like people telling me how to.
It was a compliment, Dave.
I know, but it's funny.
I'm glad we've cleared that up.
No. It is funny though. It's funny though, like when you see there's some comedians, Carl. Like I know when I'm dying, like I'm very tuned into it not going well.
Yeah.
And I feel very terrible when it's not going well. I come off stage, but you'll have some comedians and they might get one laugh, and then they'll come off stage and they'll
justifies
think, I did, they think they did great. Have you seen those type of people?
Yeah, it used to be back in those days when you started, you knew everybody straight away almost. The scene was so small.
Remember Coleman Higgins?
I was just about to say.
That's so funny.
There was one or two. There was Peter Keatings and Coleman Higgins were two.
Peter Keatings, I think, it feels, I know Peter, but the way he behaved, it was like he was abandoned by his parents, and he was just, he was brought up by television because he just had all these references.
But the two of them,
and he sort of talked like he was American or something.
But then Coleman Higgins had the strangest laugh. You could hear him in the back of the room go, and go on.
But there was a few of these. When did you record that?
Go on.
But there was a few of these guys.
I don't know why that one's here, but I wanted to use it.
But there was one guy. I don't think it was one of them. There was another guy there one night, and he got nothing.
Yeah.
He got literally silence.
Yeah.
He did 7 minutes, and it was in the International, and 7 minutes, and he got nothing. And we used to sit in the front those days and watch the show.
Oh yeah, sit in the front, smoking away, getting
And
pissed.
then
Oh yeah, no, smoking and like having the
Everything was in
crack.
black and white. Look at these guys.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sitting in the front row, and just laughing at each
Oh,
other.
Sinatra's here next week.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait.
But
So
you
he
got
did- he
nothing,
did 7
absolute
minutes, nothing,
silence.
yeah.
And afterwards, I was always like, if someone died, I just felt, I don't need to be in that energy. And whoever it was, like, let's say it was Des Bishop, said to them, I says, oh man, are you okay? Or whatever. And he goes, no, normally they'll boo.
Oh right.
And so he was taking the silence as a positive.
As a positive. Was that Coleman?
It wasn't Peter or Coleman. It was
Yeah.
there was another couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people who kind of passed through comedy, and you know.
There was a guy that did Jerry the Junkie, and he'd come on wearing a motorbike helmet. He was fucking hilarious. He'd be wearing a tracksuit and a motorbike helmet. And then you'd have Mick Ryan and the Halfpenny Bridge looking at these guys. And
Who's the guy?
you go, that's shite!
But there was a guy, I saw him in the Halfpenny, and he dressed in a full suit, like 3-piece suit, and he opened out, he'd had a page from a porn mag, and he'd unfold it, and he'd point at the vagina and go, that fella, he's only one of them. But he's got the page fully open, and he's only one of them. So he's not saying.
But
the
Carl,
word,
I don't know, was I saying this the other day? I was at there's nothing more exciting than watching another comedian die.
I
For
love
me.
but
is it
there's
for
less
you?
crazies?
What?
Sorry to interrupt, but there's less crazy.
Yeah, the mentally ill
girls.
are.
Speak into the microphone, lad.
Sorry, mate. That's what this is for. There was
Oh,
one.
there's less
guy-
crazies today.
Yeah, do you think so? Just
Yeah, it's
trying
all
stuff out.
medication.
Oh, that's probably it. They're probably all on drugs.
Yeah, go on.
There was a guy in the international open mic. I can't remember his name. Call in if you remember his name. But he had a car door. He must have got it from a Records. An actual car door carrying up the narrow stairs of the thing.
Yeah.
Just to do this old joke that we would have all heard. So no one knew what he was going to do with it. So he carries it he plonks it on the stage. Everyone's quiet. He goes, well, it's hot in here, isn't it? And then he just went to wind the window down. It just
Yeah.
clunked it down.
Oh my
but no
God.
one laughed. And then he just had this whole door. And then he just had to take the door home on the tram. All for that
The
joke.
one Bernard
I love
O'Shea
this.
said, I don't know, did he see this or he wanted to do it? But he was describing someone on stage and someone with them in a full bear costume. And make no reference to it, be doing your set, chanting away, playing the guitar, doing the jokes. And eventually, if you're doing whatever, 10 minutes, about 6 minutes in, just pretend you've forgotten what you were going to say. And then just go, bear with me.
Oh, very good.
Oh, right.
And I'm going, for the cost of the costume.
Yeah, no, but it is brilliant though. But it was almost like seeing, there was a guy there the other night and he had a colourful shirt and he goes, this is my best material.
Oh,
you know, but so Declan Rooney and Eddie Nessens, there was some benefit thing in Vicar Street.
That was for Eddie, when Eddie had
Right.
cancer
So
at the time.
Declan had this idea to walk on stage. So from the side of the stage to the centre of the stage, it's quite long on Vicar Street. It's quite a long stage. So he decided to walk with a bucket on his head. Carl, doing the goose step, goose stepping with a bucket on his head. By the way, mind you, he hadn't rehearsed this, Carl. He hadn't rehearsed it or anything. He didn't suffer from
That's
that curse.
the bad idea. Of
No. So there's 1,200 people there, right? And he was going to. For people who don't know, Declan Rooney, he doesn't do jokes. He just does. This is my impression of somebody in the Titanic, and then he'll pick up like a glass ashtray. You know what I mean? And he'll just go into bits. He just doesn't set them up. There's no punchlines, but he's fucking mental. But he's good fun.
He's wonderful energy.
Right.
Never not entertaining.
Right.
But not necessarily always funny.
But not entertaining around a table when there's no audience and there's no pressure. But the minute there's an audience, there has to be a formality to what he does. It all crumbles super quickly. So his idea was to goose step, all the way over to the microphone, and then say something in German or do an impression of a Messerschmitt firing. So he starts. So, ladies and gentlemen, Declan Rooney. So he's got a bucket on his head, but of course he can't see where he's going. So he's like this. Look, he's trying to goose step, and so I'm looking at this, and I'm losing it just looking at this. So eventually he gets to the center of the stage, And he starts talking. Oh, he has the microphone, but he's got the bucket on his head because people can't hear him because he's got a bucket on his head and the microphone isn't picking it up, right? And then the audience, we can't hear you, we can't hear you, we can't. They're screaming at him, you know. And it's just going to shit, to hell and a handbasket, super quick. You know, the way the audience turns into a mob super quick. Yeah. And then it's very exciting as an audience member. It's like Christians to the lions, you know. And it's just like, yeah, he's dying, he's eating shit. It's so bad. So then what he does is he picks it up and realizes people can't hear him. He gets the microphone and then he puts it inside the bucket. Immediately it goes, woo, because it starts feeding back. And it was just, people are falling off their fucking chairs. It's just brilliant. And I think Eddie Nessens might have been, right, let's go, you know. But yeah, so much fun.
The funny thing about that gig was there was a benefit.
Which gig?
Eddie's
benefit
gig.
Were you at it?
I was at it.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember any of it. I think Tommy was on.
Remember the date?
No. But the funny thing was Ruben.
Why are you sitting down there? Sorry.
Yeah.
Ruben.
Up and down.
Do you want a fucking cushion?
No, but thanks.
Sorry, Ruben.
Ruben couldn't go, so he wanted to...
explain to people who Ruben is, please.
Ruben was a comedian back then. He's a kids entertainer who's been on TV and all that. It was an amazing act. Did comedy without words. There was sketches without speaking.
Yes.
They were amazing. But Ruben couldn't make it that night, so he wanted to buy a non-attendance ticket. So he rang. This is, you know... Probably internet was in its infancy, so he had to ring a number to book the ticket, and he was told, no, we're sold out of non-attendance tickets, which I still think, no, sorry, the outside Vicar Street is full. And they were like, would you just buy a ticket and not come? And they were like, well, then someone's missing out, because it was going to, I think it's sold out, you know, but yeah, they couldn't process a non-attendance ticket. I just remember that being... That's how messed up this world is.
I couldn't buy a non-attendance ticket.
Give you money for free. No.
Speak into the microphone, you
Sorry.
You gay Australian. But yes, a lot.
Want a prize for outing him?
Yeah, outback.
Outbacked.
But it does remind me of that Woody Allen film Broadway, Danny Rose, when they're sitting around a table and say, I remember I've got the best Danny Rose story, but a lot of characters. You think there are less characters nowadays?
But yeah, probably what Karl was saying, where there's places now for people that aren't into stand. People know more what stand-up is as a thing now.
When you have an internet and Instagram, people can be going mad there.
Yeah,
they're going, I'm being heard. Look at this.
Oh right, yeah.
Whereas there was nowhere to go and just
very good.
Get an audience.
Yeah, that's right.
So you'd go to a comedy club and go, I need to be on.
You'd have to be in the real world.
Yeah. You'd have to connect with people, whether you're shouting at the street or whatever. But now they're off on the internet.
What do you think of the criticism about comedians, crowd work, getting big views and all that?
I think there's a fashion to it at the moment. Like people will go, "Oh, crowd work." You know, I know. What's his name? Todd Barry did a tour of crowd work, and
I really like the way Todd Barry.
Oh yeah, I think he's a great act. But there's some acts that can do it effortlessly.
So it's like anything. There's good crowd work and there's bad.
Absolutely.
So Ross Noble would be
a great example. Jason Byrne, these people who they have a set script, but sometimes they'll just go off.
I was saying to Anne Gildee, first time doing Edinburgh and seeing these guys emceeing, Jason Byrne, Ross Noble,
Kitson,
Daniel Kitson. But you'd see comedians coming on stage, back then in the 90s, late 90s, and they'd be all hoping the audience is on their side. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Byrne, and he just fling himself on the fucking thing. Yeah. From it wouldn't matter. He's swinging out of the raft. Like he's got that audience.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? He's not messing around. He's putting his whole body into the thing.
I think Jason's done some of the best gigs I've ever been at.
Right. Yeah.
And I was describing it the other day. It was a gig in Limerick, and I'd been hosting this gig, so I probably set it up for him. But there was the backdrop of the gig was this golf.
Oh, sorry. Are you taking?
Pretty much all the credit.
Okay. Yeah.
But there was a student had come straight to the gig after getting off the bus, so he had this big bag. So he'd stolen the food, or taken the food from home, emptied the presses rather than having to buy the stuff. But one of the things he had was a 6-pack of Yop. So I can see the silhouette. I'm behind, so I see the silhouette of Jason pretending each bottle of Yop is a penis as he masturbates. And I'm seeing the Yop open. He'd pop the top, and then the Yop would fly out.
Yeah.
And I can hear the audience crying, laughing, but I'm behind.
Just
seeing the vision of
it's the
Jason.
funny. He's too funny.
Almost not seeing it. For me,
Yeah,
maybe, but they're howling, and I was going,
Yeah.
Where do you walk on
Crying.
stage?
Yeah.
You don't know that there's who's even there.
Yeah.
But what
There's
he's done
no,
that a
there's
million
no,
times.
there's no filter between. There's no separation between him and making it. It's just instant, and it's fuck. You're
But
fucked.
I was in Austria at the Altitude Festival, and Jason found. I don't know why this makes me laugh so much, but there was a woman there, put her hand up. She was an Irish woman living in Germany for 25 years, and she goes, "I won the competition at TED Fest. I did 3 hip hop songs I wrote as Mrs. Doyle, and
From Father Ted.
from Father Ted." And Jason goes, come up on stage. And she said, "What do you want me to do?" And I don't know. I am the world's greatest juggler. Oh, come up. What do you want me to do?
Right.
But there was a stag in. He got the stag doing beatbox, and he had a whole, it eventually was her doing hip hop, Mrs. Doyle, with a choir in the background, and the stag from this group.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I'm going, none of this was possible. He wasn't aware of any of this, but to create it, it's one thing finding all those elements in the room, but what he created was better than what any of the rest of us would have done.
It is magic. Yeah, magic.
Don't tell them. Edit this bit out, actually.
No, but it's brilliant. I wish I'd see just to bring all that stuff together. It's very childlike and playground. And
Absolutely,
just pick this guy, pick this guy.
It's
It's
just
joyous. And it's undeniable. And
it's so nice for me to just sit in an audience for once and be a punter again. Yeah, I'm not going, where's he going with this joke? What's he saying here?
Well, I did LOL with Jason, and he was the only one who had to get away. Like, I mean, he just look at the fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
I mean, he like one time in the last one laughing thing, he just picks up a Frankfurt and just starts shaking, and I'm like, and it's genius. And it's nothing, but it's him, and then all these other people trying to figure out setup, punchline. He's just none of that. Just fucking straight away.
No,
he's a killer.
That was unreal watching all of you in LOL. And then the one thing that made me go, man, he's even more of like a genius, I guess you would say, in the comedy world, is like how to not laugh. Like to be that silly, not know where you're going, fart noises but not usually if you do something you will chuckle to yourself.
But even that, the physicality of singing through his arse. Do you see that? But like, what the fuck? Who would bother doing that?
Yeah.
But your man just goes for it, and you can imagine people on a night out and they're looking at this guy and they fucking love him. I think he's the biggest selling act in Edinburgh. Still,
ever by distance.
Yeah.
Myself, Jason, and PJ. This was years ago. Went around Edinburgh. It was myself and PJ first. We'd been going. We went to watch. There was a Premier League match on like 12:30, and we went to the pub and watched it. So we didn't have gigs till that night, and we just were walking around town. And then we met, it was like Jason about 3 or 4 hours later, and I wish we had that day documented. But the thing I remember the most was we went into this gallery, and so we're in this free art gallery, all different paintings for sale and whatever. But the three of us were trying to outdo each other with what we found amazing. So I turned at one stage, and PJ's looking at a socket on the wall and going, "Oh yeah, yes, yeah." And I'm more laughing. I went, "Oh, where's Jason gone?" Jason was lying on his back looking at a stain on the roof.
Yeah.
And we're just like, he's lying, and the woman comes over, and I'm thinking, oh God, she's pissed off now. She's going to tell us to go out. And she goes, "Oh lads, there's a show starting in a few minutes." And the just couldn't handle her earnestness of going, we're obviously wankers just trying to amuse each other. And she's going, "You better come and stay." So we had such, I'd say, one of the most funful days of my life.
I know what you mean. It's,
just childishness.
Yeah,
like,
great.
and we weren't ruining anyone else's day. It was just making each other laugh. And but that thing with the PJ with the socket on the wall, just staring at it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a beautiful picture right next to it.
When have you done Edinburgh?
I've done it 4 or 5 times over the years. I haven't done it in nearly 10 years now.
Do you still get the call, the feeling?
I thought about
pull?
it this year, but then I realised the Oasis gigs are on this weekend. Or
I saw some comedian giving out about.
Yeah.
It was like, are you out of your fucking mind? That's the cut and thrust of life. I mean,
Exactly.
What are you on
Something else
about?
comes along.
But a weird angle to come at. Strange.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not. I assume that person is not dumb. She's a smart person. Why would she?
But the shows, I think the statistics of the shows are down from last year. There was something like 7,000 shows to 4,000 something.
Well, look, the average Fringe audience apparently is 4. That was always the way of
Even
the
think,
Fringe.
yeah.
And, I started off, I worked my arse off during the summer months doing street performing, saved up all my money. I had Daniel and Hannah, and nobody showed up. But I don't know, this idea of complaining, who does she want to intervene on her behalf? Sorry, there was some comedian who complained about the fact that people didn't show up, or nobody showed up to her show in during the Edinburgh Fringe because Oasis were performing.
But it's not, well, if people are showing up to other shows, then maybe.
And then
it's
she
not
was
Oasis.
saying that the organisers of the Oasis shows should have factored in that the Edinburgh Fringe was happening in the month of August.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
You can't, like other people. I've seen people posting that, full today. Aidan McQueen was sold out the other day.
Okay.
Weekend of Oasis. But there's always something beyond. I know that's a different thing. I think the problem I would have had was accommodation becomes impossible.
Yeah.
With the Oasis thing on. And then you go, I'll go over for a week. But then everyone's going that week because...
when I was playing in Leicester Square Theatre, it took me 3 months to sell it out, and then on the same night, Taylor Swift was performing in the Wembley Stadium, and it took her 3 minutes to sell it out.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of a crossover
but using
with the audience.
Using that metric, it would take me 131 years to sell out Wembley Stadium. So you'd be there'd be a coffin on stage, and it'd really be a memorial service. But I mean, that's the way it is.
I'm joking that there's a crossover.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Saying, but there probably is in the sense of, but there is in the sense of, what are you doing at the weekend? Oh, I'm bringing my daughter and her friends to Taylor Swift. What would you rather do?
Yeah.
But there's a comedian called Dave McSavage.
Yeah.
I would have gone to see him.
Actually, it's a great vibe though, as an expat in London. When you're Irish and you're in London and there's lots of Irish in the audience and you're in. Yeah, it's a nice vibe. I liked it. It's a good venue, the Leicester Square Theatre, but it's very expensive to rent.
Oh, I've never played it, but I've been in it.
It's like a 4 or 5 grand, and
Really?
considering it's like 380, it holds 380 people. It's
So you have to
bonkers.
pretty much sell out.
Yeah, but no.
And
fuck that.
to break even, if you sell it out, do you get it?
You make a couple of G's.
Oh, yeah.
Can I borrow your shoes, mate?
Yeah, it's my shit.
Yeah, because I've done the Leicester Square Theatre too many times.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's a gorgeous location.
So you don't want to do Edinburgh again? I feel like I'd like to do Edinburgh.
I wouldn't. I like being there, and I'm thinking, why wouldn't I go? I was asked a couple of years ago, would I host a show there for the month?
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, absolutely. Because then they're paying accommodation, I'm hosting.
Takes all the pressure off
it takes the pressure off. And then just do a solo show as well. So the hosting the show would be easy because you're just, you're not on for the full hour. Then go do my hour, and it's a way of selling your hour. But then they went, oh no, we're not doing that. But you're still going, aren't you? And I went, and I was kind of tripped into it. But then that was, it turned out to be 2020. Oh. So I was going that summer, the one that never happened.
Damn, that's the other thing ruining gigs. Taylor Swift, bloody COVID.
Yeah. Hey, Karl. What about the young kids coming up through comedy now? How do you feel towards them?
I feel towards
Young whippersnappers.
to anyone. I just tell them squeal like a pig.
No, but do you, I look at them in a
I
very
never see-
paternal. Like when I see,
I would look after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had.
Do you? The word mentor has a creepy. I know.
No.
I know. But I know from your point of view, it's 100% straightforward. But anyway, do you do that?
I've always done that, but we did it
So-
like back in the day. I was saying about in the international and like Des Bishop's famous immersion routine. He
Yeah.
did one line about that, and I think it was David O'Doherty said to him, "There's more in that," and it became a full routine.
Right.
Just a simple version, but like someone would do something, do a joke about something, go, "Oh, do you ever think it's?" Oh.
Or
I
even
never thought about
somebody
that.
saying to you that you who's a fellow comedian saying to you, Carl, I loved that bit. That's fucking brilliant. And maybe you thought you'd kind of got bored with it, or you didn't. And then oh yeah, and it makes you
Yeah.
look at it in a way. Oh yeah, maybe it is worth.
Ger Staunton gave me a good suggestion, and it was something I'd said.
Yeah.
I'd ad-libbed, and he went, "You should put that in."
Yeah.
And I went, "You're right," and I do, and it's one of the biggest laughs in the routine now. And it was, Ger spotted that for me and went, "Oh, thanks a million."
No, but my problem with you saying, "Hey, you should do a bit this bit that's your fucking thing." That's your-
but I'll see a joke.
Yeah, I know, but but then it's not. I don't want your joke.
Okay. But Dave, after last night, I think you need as much help.
Oh my
as
God,
you can get.
it's so true. Oh no, Leah, let's talk about that. Sorry, that is funny. Carl, of course, is in the back.
If you can find
Carl-
someone who's done 2 gigs who'll write for you.
Jesus Christ. Well, no, I was going to say that. Yeah, I want to talk about that. But Carl was in the background. I love it. He's so funny. He broke the fourth wall and he's sort of, hardly heckling me. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know what I was trying out, what I was doing, and then you do something, you try something out, and it doesn't work, and then you retreat to really old material, and then in my mind, you just think the comedians are there going, "Oh, look at him, he's just doing old."
When they're the ones laughing down the back, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, but anyway, it was a bit of a messy old gig. But no, I met a guy before the gig, and I was saying it to Carl. So I said, "Oh yeah, how long are you doing comedy?" He said, "I've done 2 gigs," and I'm going, "Oh yeah, 2 gigs, yeah." And and then it was an hour before I was going to go on. He says, "Do you want to go and get a cup of tea or something?" And no, I know I need to write up my set. I need to write up my set in preparation. Yeah, no, I'll help you. I can write jokes and all that. And I'm saying, "Are you okay?" And I said, no. And then it was literally like, all right, kind of like he got his nose got out of joint because I didn't agree to go with him and get, although I should have gone. Maybe I should have fucking gone.
You should have gone, Dave.
It could have been great. Fucking, what would the jokes be? Maybe he's a genius. Maybe I fucked up.
Yeah, you could be in a couple now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you've been missing.
But it is a funny character, isn't it? Like somebody who just wants stuff from you. All right, Carl, how you doing? Yeah, can I just stay with you tonight or something?
Yeah. No, the one sometimes.
No.
So no, but writing jokes or seeing the jokes. So someone have a routine, and you go, "Oh, do you think of seeing that or whatever?"
Yeah.
But I did have people. I have that reputation now of, "Oh, Carl will help you punch up the joke, whatever." Someone said to me once, I won't do the exact joke, but someone said to me, "I have this bit. Could you help me with it?" And I'm going, I'll exaggerate slightly while it happened. I says, "Okay, what is it?" And he goes, "So I'm in a shop." And I'm like, "All right, yeah. Oh God, I don't know what
Oh, it's just that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
brilliant.
it was something. It was a version of that. It was so. There was nothing there yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're giving me a different."
Was that serious? Was
serious,
That's amazing.
And,
that's fucking brilliant. That's like Liam Neeson and that's a great scene. Right, I want to do comedy.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
mate,
yeah.
So give us something to do. Right, I'm in a shop. Yeah.
But
So it was kind of like that.
Full blown AIDS.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Full blown.
It wasn't in a shop, but it was very
right.
much.
Oh, I
that.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I just went, "Oh, I don't know." And I think I started telling them, "Oh, someone else has a thing about using their debit card. I'm doing someone else's material." That's saying that would be an example of what you could try. Not do that material.
Right.
Try and.
Well, they didn't
look at that, but they were just. I was going, "What do you want me to do?"
Oh, right.
Here I've written. Here's
sorry. Were
2
you
pages.
were you doing a mentoring session with them?
No, they just approached me.
Oh, right.
They just approached. I've no problem with it. I'll say it to someone. oh, just a joke there, or a callback. I suggested a callback to someone the other night, and I think it's not obvious, but it's like, it'll be rewarding because their opening joke was, there's a really strong opening joke, and I went, there's actually a way of bringing it back in at the end. And I think they appreciate it.
No, it does.
Take.
It does really. If it works, if you can do it, it ties the routine together beautifully.
Yeah.
It ties the room together beautifully. What TV shows have you written for? A few of them.
Over the years, yeah.
Or do you have you written? Oh.
I've written for comics going on things.
Okay.
So
that's what I mean.
and then not being credited. You know, you don't get credited on the show, so
yeah.
you know you've done it for the comedian.
But
so
you've done a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. Right.
I can I can pretend I've so much credit. I actually wrote the Bible with four other lads. With the four other lads took the credit.
Yeah. Yes, and sorry if people don't know, Karl had his own TV show called Karl Spain.
Once a woman.
Once. I love that expression. He has a terrible want on him.
Yeah.
It is a good expression, isn't it? Do you think you have a bit of a want on you?
I
definitely do. I definitely did. Do you think?
No, I think I lacked in want was my problem. I was not.
But do you mean in terms of
life and career? I just let things happen, and I genuinely been very happy with my career.
Yeah.
Now I could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
Successful, more this, more that.
Maybe if we were in a bigger country, we could have been.
I think there's a bit of that, but I don't think I was ever the one that RT would go, God, that's the guy we should get. You know, someone said to me recently, why didn't you ever do radio? And I went, it wasn't my choice. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
because I was talking about this with Anne Gildee.
Yeah.
Actually, and she said, well, what do you want? So if you don't know what you want... So do you? It's not even that you didn't know what you wanted. You just did.
Well, I have what I think is a great idea for a crime novel, and I've outlined. I know the story.
Okay.
And there's funny, but it's not funny.
Don't go into much into it. I'll tell you why, because maybe the novelty will wear off, and then you won't do it. Keep the. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, RTE presents.
Turn off your phone, Dave.
Karl Spain.
Hannah's ringing you.
What would imagine what's Karl's? Put on that music again.
Oh yeah.
RTE presents Karl Spain's new TV series. What's it called? What's it called?
Karl Spain wants a gig.
Wants revenge.
No. The man who knew too much. Okay. Anyway, didn't work out. We tried a bit of spontaneity there. We tried a bit of improvisation.
A bit of crowd work there, lads.
Crowd work doesn't work.
Well, actually, if people don't understand what I would certainly as a comedian, if I go to a club and then it's just so it's like I'll do crowd work now and I'll show you what I mean. Hey, just do it for real. Hey, where are you from?
Australia.
Oh yeah. What do you do? It's that kind of. So they just, they have. It's just kind of. I don't want to hear about the audience. I want to hear you and what you've got to say and your point of view. Although I will say, crowd work does coalesce the audience into a group and gets them all focused. It does. It is a good technique and it does work. So,
but it's the. Sometimes it's the lack of spontaneity. So if I'm chatting to an Australian and I go, "Oh, what city?" and if they say Melbourne. And this is 100% true. I go, oh, that's by a distance, my favourite city in Australia because I've been to the other ones.
Right.
And it's genuinely true. I've heard great things about Melbourne, but I've had not bad experiences as such, but I didn't particularly like Sydney. Sydney had bad experiences in some of the smaller cities, big towns. I met some horrible people, or as we like to call them, expat Irish.
Oh right.
Oh, some horrible racists.
I met some horrible. Okay, I was in Australia in 1998. I was only there for about a week, and I rang up. I was telling the girl about this the other day. I rang up the sister of my uncle's wife. The sister of my uncle's wife. I was 21 or 20 or something. Yeah, I'm in Sydney, and who are you? Oh well, I'm Barry. I'm Barry's nephew. Barry and Carolyn. They were, and then she said, "Yes, right, but you're not actually related to us, are you?" But what an Australian fucker. And there's something about Australians, because they come out the place, they're sort of very grabby about everything, and they kind of like, and there's, oh yeah.
I'm nodding away.
No, but I couldn't. I've just suddenly realised we have a representative here. Yeah. But I hadn't thought about that for a long time, Karl. But it's quite vicious, because if I was there and I knew some kid, I could immediately put myself in the position of a kid and say, "Yeah, come on, for a few fucking days."
For a couple
Jesus
of days.
Christ. Yeah. Anyway, but you had a few.
They didn't even know it was you.
Yeah, that's the other. They didn't even know it was you. It's such a vicious.
No, but
Karl Spain dig there. Very good. So you had a few bad experiences in.
Yeah, I was backpacking there once, and just some of the
some of the Irish awful, trying to be funny, kind of.
Yeah, there was one incident. I was going across it. We're in Sydney in the city centre. I was there with two friends, and I was going to the bathroom, and there was a group. I think they were a rugby team. But there was a group in, and I'm trying to make my way through the crowd, but they're in the way, and they were kind of standing there. And I wasn't pushing my way, I was just trying to negotiate. And the guy turns around, "You trying to get over there, mate?" And I went, "Yeah." And he just literally shoved me on the floor. "There you go." And I was like, "What the?" And I looked, there's like 6, 7 massive guys,
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, God, yeah." But you're there if I had a gun, maybe. Yeah. But like, what's the point of even saying anything to them? I was like, totally unnecessary.
Well, first of all, no, if I had a gun. No, Karl. You took the high road.
No, I wouldn't have shot them.
Yeah, but Karl, no, but that was, they were bullies. And
they were bullies, Dave.
I know.
I hope your team loses. That's what I mumbled into my chest. I hope your team loses.
It's so bad, isn't it? There's no win in that.
There's no comeback.
You're on the fucking floor. They're cunts.
So that's I can be like the other night I was on the way to the gig.
What do you think about when Karl's saying stuff like that? Oh yes, I'll hold that one. I know exactly what you're going to say. What do you think about when Karl says talking about?
I just get flashbacks because they're bullies.
I know it would happen in Ireland as well, just as easily.
I just had a flashback.
No, it fucking wouldn't. We don't fucking bully you.
Stop shoving me, Dave.
They're bullies.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, this is there was a girl that I was about like 18 or 19. There was a girl that I really liked. She worked at Macca's. She worked at McDonald's. And she goes, "Oh, I'm going to Steve's," which was a cool bar, but I didn't know it was. I was like, "Oh, who's Steve?" She goes, "No, Nedland, Steve." So anyway, I go to the bar. It's like early evening, and there was karaoke on. She's there with 3 mates. I was there by myself, and I was like, karaoke. I'd done a few gigs at that point. I was like, this is how I'll wow it with a bit of karaoke. So
and if you just stopped there.
Yeah. Oh man. And then Con Air had just come out. Great movie, but Sweet Home Alabama was back in the charts because it's in the movie. So I was like,
but you were going out with Sandra then.
Quiet, Karl.
No, go on.
And then I was like, I'll do Sweet Home Alabama. I put my name down, and in like the next song they went, and where's Damo up for some Leonard Skinner, the g'day. And I went up and I was doing it, and I could see her at the bar with her friends, and I was like, give her a bit of a point and all that. And big wheels keep on turning. I can't sing, but I was like, and the people like the song. They don't let me sit. They're turning around. I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to impress. Then I'll go over after. Can I buy you a drink? 3 rugby lads. This is why it reminded me. Came on stage. They didn't like I was getting attention. They picked me up and cradled me like a baby while I was singing. Just like, the whole song, I couldn't go anywhere.
And were people laughing their heads off?
They were laughing, little spindly me. Then they were throwing me around to each other and other.
How did you? Were you freaking out, or were you just going with it?
I was just singing along, pretending, it's all part of the show. Just getting laughed at completely, and then I just left immediately after.
Oh no!
Never saw Sam again.
And those 3 lads ended up with.
Well, I think Karl suffered a lot more than you did.
Yes,
and I don't think you can compare like with like.
No, I can't. It was completely different. But you asked, and that was the flashback I got.
No,
that happens a lot. Just like people.
It's just but I was saying, walking to the gig.
So we just have to set this up. So this is yesterday night.
This was Friday night. Yeah, walking to the gig.
Karl Spain walking around Dublin, and, heading to the gig. A lonely existence.
I had a coffee. I had a coffee in my hand. I was deep in my thoughts, going.
I just walked into the gig, and there was a group of lads sitting outside a pub, and I hadn't seen them yet. And one of them goes, "Here," and I went, "Oh, this is for me." And the arrogance of it. And he goes, "Here, fat boy." And I went, "Oh, apparently not." And I look over and he's like, come here. The two or three
yeah.
of them are doing the come here. And I go, I'd never.
No, don't
I
go
said,
there.
I'm not a waiter. Right? I don't work there.
Did they recognize you?
We're coming to
obviously.
see you.
Oh, we're coming to see
So
you.
they were coming to the gig and they're outside the
How
gig.
old are these guys?
They're in their 40s at
Okay,
least.
a fat boy.
And they weren't exactly thin themselves. Now, they go to
yeah.
the gym because they need to work off the steroids. And I got the feeling they were coked up a bit because 3 of them went to the toilet together at one stage.
Oh, yeah.
So there's about 6 of them.
Well, when 3 guys are going to the toilet, yeah, Dima?
Yeah. So when they were queuing up, I was standing and when they were walking in, they were like, oh, that was all the way around, blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, look, it's McGregor's stag night.
You said that to them, did you?
It was like...
Did you say that to
I
them?
said that to them, and it's in my head, I'm going, Karl, one of them would kill you.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean...
but it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, you made a judgment. I mean, you'd established a connection with them.
Well, but I didn't want to connect with them, but they were... And they're like arms, sleeve. And I've had a joke sometimes. If someone's covered, and I did it last night again. The guy
It's a good
fucking...
that was a
It's a good comeback, though.
No, but if a guy's
McGregor's.
covered in tattoos, I'll go, oh, look at all those tattoos. I suppose it's nice for the lads in prison to have something to read and look at while they're having sex with you.
Yeah, right.
And they were all like, covered. Then they start telling me, oh, we run a gig in Cabra, or we've done comedy in Cabra, we've run a gig. And I'm like, right, never go. I lived in Cabra, right, never go back. But they didn't last. I think Damo was hosting.
Oh,
I think when the
shit.
first act was on, they couldn't sit still.
Oh,
they were
right.
gone
They
before
were gone, yeah.
the first act had finished. 3 of them had left, and then the other 3 are kind of laughing, oh, we're going to go as well. And I'm going, you've just spent what would be considered a reasonable ticket price to go to the gig. But 6 of them bought tickets, and they were gone without really only seeing someone doing crowd work. Like.
But it's like their heads. Their like head is like a steam kettle. It just
There
has
was
to come
nothing
out.
there. Damo was up on stage with 3 guys cradling him as he sang "Sweet Home Alabama." Do you know that?
What's the worst gig? The worst like dying on your arse experience? Like a big.
The worst I felt performing was actually. It turned out in the end. There was the heckle that hurt me the most. I was doing a TV warm-ups for a TV show called The Fame Game, and I'm dying. It was the first day, and I'm dying. Like I'm doing like one-liners, and the audience just like they're embarrassed for me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm doing all these gag and nothing.
That's
nothing.
strange.
And I'm going.
Thanks, Damien.
It's not working. So I did TV production in college. And these are the current students at the college. So I said, right, material's not working. So I tried to connect with them with that. So I started going, oh, I went to Colosh to Dulig as well. I started going, does Jackie still smoke? Does Kevin still have a ponytail? And they're looking at me, how does he know all this? And I went, oh, I did the course. Now, I'd been going so bad. One of the producers got up to go to the other producer. He'd been watching me. And they told me afterwards to fire me. Saying this guy's shit, we need to get someone else. So the 2 producers are over the other side of the studio in RTE chatting away, and someone goes, did you do our course? And I went, yeah. I said, did you do the year in England to get the degree? I went, yeah, I went to Wolverhampton. And a girl puts up her hand and I go, yeah. She goes, what do you do now?
Brilliant.
And genuinely devastated.
Oh, really?
And I went, I was a comedian until you asked me that.
Yeah.
And they paid, the whole lot of them, howl and laugh.
Oh, very good.
At my.
Okay, well, you finally, but okay, inadvertently. Yeah.
And I look, and the 2 producers are looking over, going, maybe there's more to you than we thought. Now, the rest of the week was amazing. I did a great job.
It just shows you, Karl, when we're starting off and we don't have a name, and when
I didn't have the gear change. I didn't have the gear change to win them or whatever.
All this is known to us now.
Yeah.
We've died I've particularly, thank you, died so many times that we're all.
I'd love to see you do well once.
So we're not as right now. Just let's sit with that vicious. It was a good one.
Bullies.
What do you do now, David?
Bully.
It was a good one, Karl. We have to recognise that. Such a bastard.
Sorry. real
Shut
quick.
the fuck up, Carl.
No. You started talking about.
No, but
last
I love the
night.
idea.
When did like what I'm doing now? When Carl, you were in the voice of God last night. Well.
Oh no, but I just wanted to just 2 seconds. But so that you were starting off still, and how risky it is, and that's why people are so scared out of the wits of doing it. And the idea that you're fucking. This job was just teetering on the balance.
Yeah.
And somehow, in that moment, you won it back.
It was,
and then I was giving you a compliment, and then in the same point, he's ripping into me. He's like horrible. It's like I'm saving him, and then he's
the other
hacking away at me with a fucking machete.
I had never done warm-ups.
And he heckled me from the stage, from the side of the stage while I was dying.
I asked Ian Coppinger for advice. This is true. I asked Ian Coppinger for advice. I said, I'm doing warm-ups in RTE next week. Any tips? And he goes, do you know what works? If there's any little kids there, with like a little boy with its mother or a little girl with its father going, who's this? Is this your wife? Is this how long are you married? And the kid will go, we're not married. This is my mammy or whatever. And I went, oh, that's brilliant. So I had that in the back of my head. Now, when I got there, I found out, they're not letting anyone under 16 into the audience. I went, oh, fine. But on like day 3 or 4, they had a round in the quiz where they'd have someone with the same name as someone famous. So they had like John Lennon from the James Bond from Sligo in. They had all these like, Maggie Simpson was there one day, right? So they had all these people, but whoever the same person with the same name as someone famous, their family were there, so there was a couple of kids. So I said, they're in. So I go, who's this? Is this your wife? And the kids started crying.
Oh no, you're fucked.
And I'm going, no. And I just moved on, and the kid stopped. The parent didn't blame me. I wasn't.
No, he just couldn't handle the attention.
I just went, who's this? Is this your wife? And they just burst into tears. And I was like, oh my God.
That's the funniest thing ever.
The other thing that happened.
No, but wait a second. I just want to hold it. Just the idea, like, so the exact opposite is happening. And, Carl's then, and then just everybody's like,
Coppinger!
Oh, no. Yeah. That's so funny. There
was a guy, James Bond was there.
Right.
So Caroline Morahan was the presenter, and I love Caroline. Caroline was brilliant, and she's there chatting away to them.
What did she actually die of?
She's not dead.
Oh, Caroline.
Who are you thinking of? You're thinking of Caroline Flack? Or
no. Caroline, the Mrs. Merton.
Caroline Ahern. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. This was Caroline Morahan.
Sorry.
I was like, what? So she's chatting away. So James Bond, so just a man from Sligo or Mayo or something like that. His name is James Bond. So he's sitting there, and Caroline gives the clue of this man is being portrayed by 4 or 5 actors in whatever it was at the time, 16 movies. And that's the clue. And there's 3 people waiting, and the guy buzzes in, and they go, yes. Are you Spider-Man? Right? And his surname is Man, and the parents called him Spider. And Caroline being professional, is your name Spider-Man? He goes, no. Right? He's only allowed to answer yes or no. So the following day, I'm taking the piss, saying, and your man goes, are you Spider-Man? And I was like, and everyone's laughing, going, oh, what an idiot that guy is. But that guy's brother was a contestant that day. And the guy I was calling an idiot was going redder and redder.
Oh, no.
So now I'm aware of him. Now the audience are with me, but he wanted to kill me.
Oh, shit.
Because I basically called him an idiot. Now no one knows it's him except him. But I was like, oh God, what have I done? And I could just see him like, wanted to kill. I was like, oh no. And then, but there's the bad gigs. I had one in February that was
I know,
horrendous.
but I know what you mean, Carl, about that. I do. Sometimes you get incandescent rage directed towards you from an audience member, especially when we were starting off, and it got real super quick, and you'd oh God.
But I've had people come up to me, like Reginald D. Hunter said something on stage that a woman didn't like, and she came up to me, and literally Reg is closer to me now than Damo. He's like in the midpoint, and she goes, tell him that I didn't like. He's just there. And I just, like, why am I, filtering your, like, he's just there. No, you need to, I don't need to tell him anything. And I was just like, when I was younger and newer, I probably would have gone, oh, what, but now I'm like, he's just there.
I loved a gig that I forgot, one of these, I never do Christmas events or events in general. They always go disastrously, but me and Cleary were, and I just hear a woman outside talking to the organizer, referring to me and what I did on stage. He ruined Christmas. I just thought that's the best. Oh no, the worst gig I did. Well, the worst review I heard of a gig I did was in Top Secret. So more. I mean, you sit under the fucking stairs in Top Secret, and so these two people are walking out, and so one person talking about my gig to the other person said that was terrible, and then the other person said, yeah, it was beyond awful. Ooh. Beyond so it's not, and it was a terrible gig, but it's like there's no word to describe the realm that it's beyond awful. It's in this other area, but you're just sitting there, you just hear them going up the stairs. You're just like, oh.
Did you poke your head out?
No, I didn't. I fucking hid.
What I find annoying as well is the people who know you forever. Like, so I did a gig. It was a tour show in Dolan's in Limerick.
Great gig, by the way. Love Dolan's.
Love it.
Literally one of the
Absolutely
best gigs. I'm not just. I don't know why would I say I'm not just saying that. It just happens to be. And your man Mick Dolan, the vibe, great.
Fabulous.
The exact opposite to the Hawkswell and Sligo. Terrible vibe. It's like I don't know what the guy runs a terrible guy.
Dolan's
I know you're
amazing.
not saying that.
No, I don't
I'm
know.
saying that.
Yeah.
No, I burn bridges.
But I was
Thank
in
you.
Dolan's and people I knew. So there was a load of different groups. So the guys would come here, and I was like, all right. So I went. And one of the guys said, like, it had been a great version of that show, right? So it had been a great night. Limerick was always fun. And guy I'd known since school, he goes, I have to say that was very good. And I'm going like, oh, like it's an ordeal for you.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, no, I have. I was like, oh, would you just say, oh, that was great, or that wasn't. I don't mind. If someone says it wasn't great.
Because I
fine.
never liked you.
Yeah,
You're
but
terrible.
it's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was hoping it wouldn't be, it felt like that.
Yeah, but it is like that.
As we're leaving.
Yeah.
So there's, I was leaving the same. I was giving another guy a lift up the road. That guy, he was hammered now at this stage, and he got into a taxi outside, and he was sent to the other guy. Do you want to lift up the road? He was so hammered, and the driver. Now I'm maybe making assumptions, but my guess was he wasn't local. Right, there was certain evidence that he wasn't local.
Who?
The driver of the taxi.
Right.
So the guy rolls down the window and he's like saying I'm giving one lad a lift up the road. The other guy's been offered a lift by him. And I shout at the guy going, oh, make sure you pay for the taxi now. Don't offer to suck the guy off just to get out of paying for it like you did last time.
Oh, yeah.
And the driver is like, what?
Oh, I see. Oh, right. So he didn't pick up on the thing.
The driver thinks I'm going, don't offer to give him a blowjob now.
Yeah,
Make sure you pay him.
I got you.
And he was so drunk he couldn't articulate.
Right.
And
did the taxi driver kick him out?
No, the taxi driver was just looking. He sat in the front, but was looking.
No, but I love that. He's looking at the fucking mirror the whole way back.
No, he was in the front beside him.
Oh.
He sat in beside him. And I was like, don't pay for with money now. No, don't be giving blowjobs. You know what? You know how you get. And he was so drunk, which made it funnier. And the two guys that were outside, they just waved him off.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is,
just give me a compliment.
just give me. The moral of the story. No, but I don't know about you, Dimo, but I'm very revenge motivated. Like little resentments will sit in there in my little golden resentment room, and they'll just be there. But I know that at some point. Well, actually, I think you were talking about that yesterday. Oh, you were talking about you were on holiday somewhere or some. Oh no, volleyball. Girls were playing volleyball. We can't talk about that.
No, I'll talk about that.
Well, anyway, you were saying, but the facility, stuff happens to us, or an insult to our intelligence, or an injustice, or something or an awkwardness.
I don't think I told you the story.
Then we can hold it in, and then later that night we can formulate it into a thing, as opposed to accountants.
I think you did the gig. Zara in Barcelona used to run the gig.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, so I was over with Zara. So you do Barcelona and Sitges, which is the gay resort outside Barcelona. So myself, Zara, and one of Zara's female friends were sitting on the beach, and I'm facing out to the beach. Like Zara's there, our friend is there, and we're just chatting, having a coffee. And we're there for, I don't know, maybe had something to eat, but we're sitting there for a while. And while we sat, after sitting down, these four girls, late teens, early 20s, very sexy, very beautiful, wearing very little, started playing volleyball right there. topless. The girls are running around.
Topless. Okay, well,
And-
just slow down. no, because you really do. Just let's slow down. So we have. Let me mansplain this one.
Yeah, I can't say to Zara and her friend. I can't go, oh my God, look at the girls.
Why can't you do that?
I didn't know them well enough. I just felt uncomfortable with it. So I'm literally locking eyes with Zara, and then a friend would say something, and
Did the girls not notice it?
No, they didn't. That was the whole point.
Oh, wow.
So I then look at her eyes, and they're probably thinking, geez, Carl's acting weird.
Yeah.
And at one stage, the ball even bounced over, and one came running over in between, and I'm just looking at my coffee or whatever, going, this
Coffee.
this is just too much. But the point is, I went on stage that night and told the whole story about not being able to tell Zara and her friend about the girls. And it was that thing of, in the moment, I'm feeling all the tension and awkwardness and go, oh, this is just uncomfortable. Because I can't even glance. You know, you feel totally bad just going, I'm not in the wrong place.
I know, but because
I've done nothing wrong.
It's totally unknown to us. It's totally unusual. And they're at the peak of their womanly beauty. It's fantastic. I would the tag for that would be, and so I went on stage that night and I had a fucking wank. No.
This is justified. But it was fun. I could talk about it, and there's that thing of
right.
Do you know, I had it in Dolan's one night when I used to host the show.
What, a wank?
Yeah.
There was a girl I used to chat to most weeks, the regulars, and I chat to her, and then Ruben got her up on stage one week, and I says, oh, you get up on stage? Him wouldn't get up. I says, well, maybe if you ask me something, I get up. So it was almost like a green light to ask her out.
Okay.
And I says, well, maybe I will. And everyone's going, whoa, you know, as in, but then I didn't see her after the show, whether she ran out or whatever. But the following week, she was at the gig with a guy in a wheelchair. And I couldn't ask her out because she's with a man. And now I knew that was probably a friend.
Yeah.
Like there was an age difference. But I felt it's morally wrong to ask a girl out when she's with another man.
Yeah.
I've been in the position.
Oh yes, I see what you're saying. No, because it's kind of shitty behavior.
Yeah. So she was there going, hi. And I'm like, hi, how are you getting on? She goes, oh, this is whatever, Dave. This is Dave.
Yeah.
I went, oh, hi, nice to meet you, Dave. Chatting away. And she said, oh, this Carl, he's the comedian on. And she's kind of smiling at me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go. Now, when I've told it, I don't think I've told it on stage, but when I'm telling people this, I go, I couldn't just go to her, can you just come up the stairs for me?
Oh no.
To make me, can I just talk to you upstairs for a second? But I just felt I've been in that situation with female friends when guys would come over and chat them up, and I'm like going,
oh, it's fucking real cunty behavior.
Yeah, and the girls would get annoyed with it going,
well, sometimes they would and sometimes they wouldn't. By the way, how long have we been broadcasting, Mike?
We've been going for an hour.
Did you want him to start recording?
No, Jesus Christ.
I'll just edit out my bits.
Oh, and edit out the bit about Dave saying what he liked about the Nazis as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So we touched on the fact that you did a TV show called Karl Spain Wants a Woman.
Yes.
And it was a 6-part TV series.
Correct.
Where you were traveling around the country? Or
Yes.
can you explain and is it still available?
It's not. I have it, but
It's not on YouTube even?
I don't think
Okay,
so.
anyway.
Put it on the YouTube.
It was actually the first RT show that they made clips available that you could, I don't know, was it download? There was some new technical.
So you were looking for
20 years ago.
a mate.
The idea was I said I did TV production in college, and one of the programs one of the documentaries we did in college was how dating is going to change in the 21st century from like how it was with like arranged marriages or whatever. So just how it's all evolved.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And we did it. And while we were making the college project, I said, we've missed a trick here. We should have done dates. We should have put someone through it. So then on the back of Des Bishop's work experience, I did the warm-ups on that and did bits on that. And RT said, oh, we'd love to do something with you if you have an idea.
Wow.
And I went, oh, how about a dating thing where I'll examine the different forms of dating. It kind of evolved into a different thing, but it was the idea that I would go on these dates and then do stand-up about it and talk about it. And that's kind of, it sounds like a great idea.
And you did find a partner.
Yes, Rachel.
As a result of doing that
20
show.
20 years now.
And you've been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
Pretty special, Damo.
Yeah.
Also,
Killed season 2.
me and Carl were in a me and Carl were in a film together. What was it called again?
The Hurler.
The Hurler. And Well, anyway, I know
weren't in it.
nobody saw it, but I was struck by
Loads of
how
people saw it.
good Karl Spain was. Very, very, very good actor, I have to say.
Believable as a guard.
Oh yeah, no, but really, really good. Kind of. Well, anyway, I thought he was fantastic.
I think I got another role because of that.
Yeah,
I'm in the new season of The Young Offenders as a guard.
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's this. I can't say what was said yet because it hasn't been broadcast. But there's a scene where Mary McAvoy, Biddy from Glenroe, is abusing me out a window.
Yeah.
And we were allowed to improvise stuff back and forth. And I don't know how much they'll use.
Yeah.
But it was
It was
so much fun.
yeah.
And there's some.
I think I was in that last year or the year before. I was an Irish teaching examiner, but they're good lads. Oh, your man writes for that, or a fellow comedian,
Ross Brown.
Ross Brown.
Yeah.
Well, so there you go, folks. Keep your eye out for
exclusive.
young offenders. No, because honestly, fucking, so funny, such a good actor. I mean, maybe you're not aware, mate, of how good an actor you are.
I'm going to do Leicester Square Theatre, my Hamlet.
No, but he's brilliant.
I'm going to give my Hamlet.
I feel like we're missing. We could talk loads and loads and loads, but thank you so much, Karl Spain. And do you want to plug anything to our 3 audience members?
I'm in the Crack Den tonight, and I'm back next month. No, it's probably October.
Do you have you've got your Instagram,
My Instagram, my website hasn't
which is
been updated.
what,
Karl Spain Comedian.
Okay.
Oh yeah, actually, thank you for that, David, because I remember meeting you at Obama Plaza and you put me in your video.
Yeah.
And I got more followers out of that.
Yes.
Than some fucking gigs I've done when
Yeah.
I begged for followers. Please.
But it's
follow-
good.
please
But
follow
you
me.
need about like 1,000 followers to get a one ticket buyer or something like that. That's the rate of exchange. It's pretty fucking useless. So I've got 12. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Damien Clark.
Look at my acting.
Damien Clark, thank you very much for stepping in for Daniel.
Condolences for my
He's the guy you
slip-ups.
need to be with in the post-apocalyptic Ireland. Damien Clark. Look at him there,
Clanky,
sleeping
clanky.
in a river. Karl Spain, one of the funniest people I've ever met in my whole life.
What's this
Thank
one
you
of?
very much. One of the